Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
This is a spoiler alert. Plot lines will be discussed, and first appearances and deaths will be brought up on this episode. Thank you. Here's my order of purchasing priorities. I have 3 of them when buying new comic books every Wednesday. The first priority is key issues. The first appearance, the death, or a conflict between 2 popular characters would be considered a key issue. Second priority is the story. And the third priority is keeping within a $35 per week budget. Hello there, my comic book friends, and welcome to another issue, or episode, of September 27th release, 2023. These are my picks for the week. Just so you know, it's late. My counterpart is sleeping, my special counterpart. So I have to be very low. I can't close doors here because there's a lot of stuff in the way. Other than that, let's go through it. This week, we got a new DC Connects. I love going through these. These are great to take with you. They're free. Sometimes people consider these to be the first appearance of certain characters that are going to be released. This is Marvel's. And I used to take these on the train and just basically browse through them. They're, fully colored. There's a lot of information. Releases, you get to see some designs, some variant covers. It's a great piece of resource that will probably be collected from individuals like myself. I feel that having these issues are pretty much fun. Sometimes I feel like the DC Comics is not collected more than the Marvel. Marvel runs out really fast, but it's thicker. I can tell you that. It's very thick. And the print is actually much nicer than the actual comic books themselves, believe it or not. That's pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, these are what I grab every time I have the opportunity. I do collect them. I browse through them to see what is the updated releases for the next few months. And other than that, I enjoy the art. The art is great. The writing is there. It's simple. You get to see what you might be interested in the future. This is also another resource that you can use for speculation as well. Going from that, here's a Frank Miller. I actually almost bought this. But I felt that the number one was really the one that you want to buy. The whole set in general is worth everything, but the number one is the beginning of the story. So other than that, it's not a key. Number one is not a key. The whole set is really a key because of the story. Moving on, this Moon Knight. Now, let's take a look at this. You got the what if Donald Duck being Wolverine. I'm laughing at this. I'm loving it. And this was a variant of Alex Ross for the Avengers. I only have one, I think. I couldn't get the rest because there weren't keys. It wasn't interested, and I had very limited space. So I decided to only get the key with the one of the covers. These are actually 3 covers or 4. Yeah, they're 4 covers. So I'm not willing to spend a whole money to get a whole section of this. Honestly, like, the comic books are awesome, but I feel like it's always unnecessary to get something that is not a key. But that it's hard to buy a comic book these days and say, hey, I'm only getting this for the cover, and I'm not like that. I like the story. I like the artwork related to a story in front. If it's a homage, I definitely would take it. But other than that, I have a feeling that this might be, this is literally a, what do you call it? This is a connecting variant. So if there are going to be 4 more connecting variants, I'm going to go nuts over Disney more than the Alex Ross. And I should go nuts over the Alex Ross because this is really classman. This is really classic artwork by Alex Ross. And sometimes I will change my mind. I'm at a day and age where you could buy a comic book for $4, and then maybe about 6 months later, you could buy it for $2. So other than that, I have a budget. I had to fight myself off from not getting this. I had to set a tendency of what I really want, and what I really wanted was Disney more than this. And I know that this is going to be hard to get than this. So, no offense to Alex Ross. His work is beautiful. It's awesome. And if the timing was right, say like if it came out in like after Comic-Con in New York City and it was like December, I get every single issue regardless if it's a key or not. But right now, we're at an all-time high of buying stuff, and things are being released multiple times, even around comic book conventions. So, I mean, we're having a comic book convention almost every month. We have a show almost every month. It's getting crazier out there with regards to speculation, comic books, all sorts of readings, and the accessibility of getting the comic books and even the old comic books. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Captain America part will be the most valuable cover, but the whole thing in general will be. I would really wish they had a spread in a larger like issue where they actually folded it in or folded it out, and at the same time charge you $10 for it. I would have bought that. I can't buy 4 issues and try to connect the cover. I did that for Walking Dead so many times, and it was always one issue I miss, and I have to get that one issue to make the full connection. So, you know, it is what it is. That's how the business is done. That's how they get you to buy these comic books, and it's a beautiful piece. One time I had 4 issues, and I put it on a beautiful frame, and I had it on display, and I had it on display for a while. It was beautiful to have, but the comic book needed to be protected. It needed to be encased. And from that point on, I just, you know, decided not to proceed doing something like that with my comic books. They also got a little bit bent up and destroyed. And I'm talking about my Walking Dead connecting covers. Definitely not the Walking Dead Deluxe, but the older Walking Dead, which is worth more money than those current Walking Deads. But those current Walking Deads are colorful variations of it with some key issues that I already have. So the print for this is much better than the actual print for for the comic books themselves. These are the releases within the next few months. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but this was just released this week of the 27th. Now, here is the Superman. I literally got this cover by I forgot this guy's name. I just started following him on Instagram. Jorge Jimenez. He will be at Comic-Con, and I would like for him to sign this, but there is a first appearance on this, and it is not the Chained. So I literally just, you know, thought this comic book was okay. I only bought it because it was a first appearance. There was nothing special about it. But it's just a slow start to a new sort of a storyline. So literally I just felt that this was not, it was a decent follow-up. It's not a key, and it's, you know, I mean, it is a key. It has a new character in here, so I've been told. So I feel like this comic book isn't worth it, only if it's a key. The story is short, so I just feel like this comic book was okay. Is it worth getting? The answer is yes, if it's a key. If you find out it's a key, it's a key. I think this is a key. It has a first appearance. But this artwork is pretty much a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Doom Patrol. This one was great. I enjoyed it. Some crazy things happening. The artwork of Chris Berman never ceases to amaze me, as he was a part of a lot of DC work that had changed the fabric of literally certain characters' deaths, beginnings, and I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. There's a lot of action here. The script is pretty intense. As you can see, it's gross as heck. So this is definitely a key. There's a lot of new, they say that there's a team in this, and either way, I enjoyed this comic book. I think it was fun. Something to definitely check out. This is cover A. I did not get the other covers. I felt that the other covers had nothing to do with the story. But other than that, they had these beautiful portraits, have nothing to do with the, I mean, some of the characters were in there, but I just felt it wasn't even worth it, you know, for an extra $1. Miss Marvel. So definitely something to pick up, but I went with cover A. This is, I believe, cover B. Here's a Marvel comic book, Miss Marvel issue 2. I bought this, okay, I'm not much of a cover person, but when I saw something that I'm truly in love with, I bought it for that. And also, the story for Miss Marvel, the New Mutant, was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much that I went to buy issue number 1. I don't know why I didn't buy issue. Maybe I bought issue number 1. I don't even know. I'm trying to keep up with all the releases every week. It feels like a job now. Of course it is. But I got this first issue of Miss Marvel New Mutants #1, which I paid the regular price for it, the variant edition. I believe this is cover, see, it's 51, so that makes it first print, cover E. I thought it was just fun. I love this. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I gotta open it up and read it. But I went through issue #2 and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I mean, it's like a college. It's like a college. It's a school. It's X-Men again. You know, it's all X-Men again, and I enjoyed that. I like the atmosphere that they created here, and putting Miss Marvel in it, just Kamala Khan, who was actually a clone of a mutant, rather than the original who died away in Spider-Man. Um, at first I thought this was the first review of the costume for the X-Men costume, but it wasn't. It was issue #1, so I've been told, and I've been trying to find out. And her first appearance is on another issue. It wasn't on this one. Well, other than that, this was a fun issue. I enjoyed it. It connects to Tony and Emma White's marriage. And totally, is it worth getting? I'm gonna tell you something. I think it's worth getting because of this cover. Because Professor X is supposed to be there. It's just Kamala Khan. They have the original 4 X-Men. Yep, this is the original 5. And Professor X would usually be here. It's a great homage to the original first appearance of the X-Men in the 1950s. But I enjoyed the comic book itself because the story has been really good. Here's the first issue of Power Girl. Oh, and by the way, is it a key? No, it's not a key. But I bought it for the cover, so this is a cover lovers thing. Power Girl issue #1. This story was okay. I mean, it kept moving on and on and on, and it's a key. There's a new character in this. I went with this cover because it was the only thing available in previews to order. There were another cover that had a magazine Vogue look. That's the one I wanted. Unfortunately, that one is a ratio cover that I can't get my hands on. I won't even be surprised if I get that cover for like $1 in a bin. Those things happen, but like I got this cover. I believe this is cover B. Yes, 2-1, cover B, first print, #2 for B. And I thought this issue was alright. I'm not much of a Power Girl fan. There is a new character in this, and I went for that. And I like new characters coming into play because you never know. There might be a favorite amongst the rest. But I buy, let's say like Gambit. Gambit was just, he was a jerk. And I bought it, and I liked the jerk, and I felt, oh man, this guy's he's such a horrible person, but he's like an anti-hero, and his first appearance is ridiculously off the charts. And it's the same thing with Miles Morales. When I bought Miles, I said, this kid reminds me of every kid I met in a New York City block. He's definitely trying to be somebody. He's definitely trying to like survive out in the streets. He's definitely part of the fabric of the neighborhood. He's like related to so many kids, and I felt that his characterization was very important. So some of these characters are coming out right now. I just feel like, okay, they're so-so. They're nothing special really. And they're okay. But I still would get it for the first appearance. And when I went through this issue, going back to this, it was alright. I mean, it wasn't anything special. I just didn't feel anything for it, to be honest with you. It just didn't connect with me, and I bought it because it was a key. I read the key. The key is great, but the character needs more development, so you can't go wrong with a first appearance. You really can't. It's really going to be the most highest value in any comic book that you'll ever come across. Is it an investment that I would say? No comic book's an investment. I just bought it because I was interested to see what this character was fully up to, and I have a piece of that as part of my collection. And for that time being, I don't love him, but if he keeps appearing in certain issues and I want to follow him, I will keep buying that issue with key or no key. Doesn't matter to me. So, and one of those things, it was Invincible. Invincible got me by literally between my legs. I literally could not stop buying that issue. Every single person that I come across in Invincible was flawless. It was a well written comic book. I felt very strong with it. I was every issue I bought, I was never let down. It was the same thing with the last 45 issues of The Walking Dead. Once I discovered how good it was, such a good comic book, I just never stopped buying. And even better about The Walking Dead was that the issue was only about $2, where everything was like $3 to $4. So we got Flash issue number 1 here, the release on the 27th of 2023. New character in this one. I got the foil cover. I love this foil cover. Trust me, everybody's going crazy about the foils. I'm not, because I'm all about the story, but the foils have to make sense. If it's just like some sort of portrait, if it's like a Superman classic portrait of Alex Ross's work, yes. But a lot of the foils are coming out just basically, they're not all connected to the story, but at the same time, the relationship of that character is just a portrait. So when you give me something like this where he's running, it looks like he's running across the world on top of it, absolutely. This was a fun cover. I loved it. If it was just a regular no foil, I still would have bought it. This is cover 7, so I'm assuming that this is cover F. This is a very popular cover. There is a first appearance in this, and this is the first spin-off series of this issue. So literally, I felt like, this issue had a lot going. Like, again, to me, it's decent. I have a lot more in detail to go over this. I read it once, and I have to go back to it again. And I'm gonna tell you, it was a bit fun. It was a bit fun. And after that, I just, I gotta be honest with you, I feel like there's never enough pages to tell the story, because they come in such piecemeals. And the way they end is just, the way they end is just like, I like it how it ended like this, because this is I don't know if this is a new character. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed the issue, and I like how this character appeared. You can't have this on every issue. You can't. Because if you do, it becomes obvious, it becomes a template, and people will start backing down. And the story will become very stupid and convoluted. So, that being said, I went and got this. Very cool. Check that out if you can't see it off without my reflection, of course, and my ceiling's reflection. It's pretty cool. I'm sorry you can't see it that well. Another foil, a facsimile actually, of the Micronauts. I actually think I got this first print. This is a facsimile of Micronauts. We assume that there will be a movie released, or there has been a notification of a movie for this brand, for this toy series that came out in the 80s. No one cared about this book back in the 80s. No one cared about it in the early 90s, and then the time came, you got nostalgia and then interest, and then people are looking for movie material, and hence Micronauts is one of them. Excuse the swinging. And that's it. That's everything today. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and like. Have a great and blessed day, and take care, and thank you for watching. This episode was made possible by the apps and music listed below. Subscribe and like, and thank you for watching.